Hello and welcome to Stars in the Dark session 21. You know what this is. If you don't, start at the beginning. I will go through the list of wishes from our accumulated wish list. I've removed some items that aren't really relevant to the current situation. But if there's anything you want me to add back in, please let me know. First of all, Stephen needs to leave on time today, so we'll probably end a little bit earlier than usual, since we tend to go like 15, 20 minutes overtime from time to time. Other than that, people want to see the layer explode on screen, the rigged explosives. You want to see the results of betraying Tor, if that's still what you're going to do, because that's we don't know. You haven't gone through with that yet, but if that happens, you want to see it. Find out what happened to Celine, the recording that's connected to Tor, see what happens with that. A scene with Maxa may still be of interest. I think those are the main ones. Is there anything anyone wants to add to that? Everyone's good? Cool. And this is in addition to everything else that's going on and happening. We had a fallout from last time that's going to show up during this session. Since you did a job last session, you will have new downtime activities. And I'll note here, as I did in the Slack, that I missed the rule regarding your favored operation type, which is battle, I believe. When you prepare for that type of operation, you get +1 die on gathering information, and the crew as a whole has 1 extra downtime activity to prepare for that, that job. So that's useful to know. I have also increased your hold to strong since you filled up the rep meter last time. I believe you had 1 spare rep, so I've added that. So you have 1 rep currently. If you fill it up again, you can move to tier 3, but that will cost you a buttload of credits.
Did we have to pay for going to strong, or is that free?
Just no, you don't have to pay to go to strong. Okay. It's just when you increase the tier. So this one was for free, but the next one will cost. You have 1 advance banked for the crew since you're abandoning your lair. That's we put that one on hold. I also thought about this, and I think since you're abandoning your lair, you can't use the vault there to store any creds. So you should share those out between the characters. There's 4 creds in the vault. You'll need to carry those personally instead.
So we can each take 1.
Yeah, 5 in a slot.
If everyone has room for 1, you can take 1. So I'll empty the vault. I think that's all I needed to say before we start playing. And I think we should jump back into Bria's fight with Kernok, with the stormtroopers. That's kind of an acute situation that needs to be dealt with before we know what else is going on. So, Kai, would you like to recap your encounter with Kernok, the Black Sun assassin, the very hot Black Sun assassin?
Yeah, now that I'm not on despite any common sense, a tough choice was made between going to confront my aunt about my son or showing loyalty to probably a person that's closer to me than any relative I have other than my child. And I showed up alone, essentially unarmed. And what came with me was bad dice rolls. And I'm in there, and Karnak, the hot assassin, basically whittles down what information I'll give her to the point of, oh, you're useless now. So Bria decides to try to escape. And that starts going really well for her. Things are working out. And just before Karnak would turn around and say, like, screw this, I've got other fish to fry, I critically baited her into following me. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I made her really angry about the fact that, she'd gotten shot so awfully by enema and still hadn't recovered from it. And like, I've got this picture in my mind of all like these Batman style freeze frames of like knees tucked or legs tucked, knees out, kind of jumps as we go through 1313. And I think I just I landed on a stormtrooper's face to soften my blow. And he fell backwards, and I tumbled off of that. And Karnak is close behind, but also there's these tanks, this column of tanks. So that's where I last remember it. Did I miss any details, y'all? Anything?
I think that's
right.
That's about it. So where you've landed is inside this cordon that StreetSec has set up. Scrapyard. And you're like a block away from the nearest roadblock. There are buildings that have been ransacked by the stormtroopers. And one of these, you've landed in what used to be a building, but it's been completely flattened. One of these tanks has just driven straight through it and just flattened it. And that tank is about a block away in the other direction from the roadblock. There's a couple of stormtroopers here who are just like standing guard generally. One of those were the one you landed on, but there are definitely more stormtroopers moving in this general area. There aren't any others who are like right near you who have noticed you right now. But and I think by this time your stealth system has run.
Oh right, yeah.
Because that lasts a few minutes instead of when you paid extra for it, which you did, and that allowed for the rooftop chase. But by now you're visible. So what's the plan?
Well, I have only one spendable stress unless I want to trauma out. Based off the picture you've shown me, there is like a cockpit style second space on the tank where I imagine things are going to be controllable. And I think a tank shot might actually take Karnak out. So my goal is to get to one of those, pull the trooper out, pull the trigger. Simple plan. Simple
There's a picture of the tank on the current job tab. As you can see, there's like it's pretty low. There's a commander hatch for the commander on top, and in front of him is the driver, who also has a little hatch where he can stick his head out. And I think there's another trooper inside as well. I don't remember exactly. It's been a while since I checked up the details on the vehicle. But there's as you run towards this tank, You can see that there is a squad of stormtroopers like following it. It's not going to be easy to hijack the tank in this situation.
I said simple, not easy. Oh man, or should I just abandon all of this? Oh my God.
This is, I mean, with all the chaos going on here, you do have a chance to try to slip away, because Karnak probably doesn't want to tangle with a squad of stormtroopers, but you're not sure. You did make her really angry.
I mean, I already tried to commit suicide once today. As much as I would love to shoot Karnak with a tank can, I think I'm going to try to get out of here. You keep adding troopers to my mental map. I'm like, okay, how many resistance rolls can I roll?
I mean, because they are aware that using a tank in a build-up area just alone, that's not a good idea. It's going to get things thrown at it at the very least. And so
I'd like to try to find a way out of here. I'd like to skedaddle.
Cool.
So
I think it's fair to say that you're in a desperate situation.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I guess survey would let me find an escape route.
Cool.
I pulled her here for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to make some sort of roll for Karnak to see how well she deals with this, but that's not something you will most likely not going to see on screen right now.
But also, if I were to push myself right now, and I would trauma out, but I could maneuver myself so my enemies attack each other.
Ooh, yeah.
And that guarantee of something happening to Karnak is worth me traumaing out, I think. So
yeah, and you'll get to do your action. You will get out of there, but then you'll be out of it, and we'll make some sort of fortune roll. See how well you in how bad of a situation you end up.
Okay.
After that,
the dice may not let me out either, so we'll see.
That's also a distinct possibility. Yeah.
Okay, so then I think the best thing for me would be to roll prowl, push myself, and get them to shoot each other and see what the dice tell me what happens.
Sure.
All right, cool.
That makes sense.
And yes, I do get XP from all of this. Thank you, Rich. Okay, so I'm currently at 3 dice on prowl in a desperate, desperate.
I think you have standard effect. You are very mobile. This is what you're good at. Acrobatics and running and sneaking. So I think you have standard effect.
Okay. I can't think of any other additional dice I can take because there's no devil's bargain when you push yourself.
That is correct. And I don't think anyone's in a position to help you.
Okay. Cool. All right, so that's 3 dice.
You don't have any harm. No, you don't have any harm.
No harm.
I added that to the on the rules tab, just where you have all the things, just to as a reminder. So okay. 3 dice.
All right, let's click. I was recently telling a friend of mine about gaming and D&D and stuff like that, and I called them the click clack math rocks. She liked that better than dice. Okay. No. No. Oh no. Oh my Lord.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
You do get your XP.
Yeah.
But this is the worst outcome.
A corpse with XP, you know.
Yeah, I think like to do this, you have to draw Karnak towards this tank. So how do you provoke her? Because she's after you, but she's also seeing these stormtroopers.
Of course.
You just shoot at her, or do you say something? Or...
I think I say something. I think something along the lines of like, you know, your reputation is all you have, and I destroyed it. Right? Which
nice.
is a way of wrangling the truth. So that's how I try to get her to follow, but I don't know what happens. I guess I get shot. I mean, what's up? What happens?
Yeah, you take off towards this tank and the squad of stormies.
Yeah.
Karnak is following you right behind you.
Yeah.
The stormtroopers spot you too early. You're like in the middle of the street. There's nowhere for you to go.
Right.
But Karnak is right behind you. They are still going to get into it in some way.
Right.
But I think you, they shoot you. They shoot the hell out of you.
Yeah.
They're not going to shoot. You're not going to be straight up dead.
Okay.
But you're going to take lethal harm, but you can protect yourself with armor.
And I can well, I guess resistance roll is moot if I'm traumatized out, so I can't do that.
You can resist the harm. I think resisting it will not remove it completely here. It will reduce it to like level 2 harm, because this is like a bunch of stormtroopers just blasting.
Sure. But armor would do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, armor makes a lot more sense than a resistance roll at this point. So
cool.
I'll knock armor.
On the other hand, you'll trauma out either way. But on the other hand, it doesn't matter if you've checked off your armor if you're traumatized out. So,
but I think story wise, you know, I'm all out of, you know, fancy tricks at this point.
So. Cool. So you've taken the 2 stress, right, for pushing yourself.
Yes. Yep.
Which means you trauma out. So you get shot. You had like a Beskar, like not a breastplate, but something like shoulder thing.
Yeah.
So that protects you enough that they don't kill you. You don't die outright, but you're knocked unconscious by just the plain pain and injuries.
But she is attacked by them. Like I blocked that one. Yeah. Okay.
I think as you lie bleeding on the street, you'll get to see some of what happens to Karnak. She's going to do a fortune roll. Let's see. I think she has at least 3 dice. Yeah, I think 3 dice. She would have 4 dice, but she's angry and messed up, and she's not really she's not prepared for this situation.
Right.
So she wants to roll high here. We'll see how well she does. She gets a 6. So you see, like they shoot you. She's right behind you. They start firing at her as well. She takes a hit, but she pulls a blaster, fires back at them, rolls away into an alley, and that's the last you see before you fade to black.
Man, if you would just switch those 2 dice rolls, what a different story it would be. What a different story it would be.
That would have been a lot better for you.
Wow.
Cool.
My feelings. All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so you'll get to pick another trauma, another XP trigger. That's great, right?
Yeah, I'm sure we've got years left for this character who's bleeding on the ground in a column of stormtroopers.
Yeah, everything's fine. Cool. We'll cut
back.
And
the rule that keeps coming up that when in my research that I don't think we ever bring up is if you don't use your vice and you have a trauma, you have to take that much stress during your downtime. Right.
Thanks for reminding me about that.
So if I don't use my vice on downtime, I'm going to take 2 stress automatically. So
yeah. I think I've noted that somewhere, but since it wasn't relevant in the beginning, it's not. It's the last thing in the indulge vice section, but yeah. Cool.
All right.
Thanks for bringing that up. So the rest of the crew, Etama, Boko, Bade, and your gang members and Janusz and everyone, you're standing in like a I keep saying abandoned warehouse. This is probably not quite that, but it's. I think this is more like it's been like a reloading, like a transport hub. There used to be like what do you call it? Unloading and loading of goods here, but it's been abandoned for years. Hera the Witch has left with the artifact. She did not pay you what you expected, but she did pay you. So there's that. You don't have a place to go to. And like the rest of the gang are looking at you expectantly, like, what's next?
Have we guess we need to find a new place or talk to someone to get us a new place.
So we talked about going underground in the tunnels.
Yeah.
Do we know anything about what's happened with Bria? I don't think she ever contacted us.
She's been gone a long time.
Yeah. And she was supposed to meet us at a rendezvous point, which was...
Yeah. She was supposed to meet you. I think you've waited like a couple of hours or something. She should have been here by now.
I'll try to get her on comms. See if there's any response.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Try to get her on comms and see if there's any response.
Yeah. She's not picking up.
I think she got into... I mean, she wouldn't just take off on it, so...
No, she wouldn't. Unless her kid's in trouble. Then she'd take off. And I'd want her to. I'd expect her to.
Do we know about her? Do we know about her other family or?
Yeah, Etma's known for a while. I think it came up a couple of sessions back. So I think all of you know about it, but I'm not entirely sure.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows that she has a kid because it was brought up in a recent session. The thing I'm curious about is do we know where that kid is? Because I think that is what we don't know. Is that Breeze brought him out?
Oh, I know where they are because I went with her, right?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Maybe we should take some fun.
Maybe we should take a trip over there and see what the deal is over. Was it in Bright Market or?
Yeah, I think Bria or Kai, if I remember correctly, your apartment was like in Bright Market, very close to the foundry.
Yeah. Like barely Bright Market, right?
Yeah.
That last zip code or postal code, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we should head over to the apartment and see if she's there. Or if we can
You're in
find
the
out where she is
Warrens
from there.
now. That means you'll have to cross the foundry unless you take a very long, because you don't want to go through the scrapyard right now, probably.
Or Sexec, really, probably.
Yeah. So how do you want to do that? We're just walking down the street, or are you doing something else?
Well, most of the troopers are they headed towards the scrapyard, or are they like have they gone that way, or they're all in there now?
The column, they're in the scrapyard, and a lot of street sec officers apparently have been pulled in there as well. So there's not as many in the foundry as there usually is, but you still have like your pictures on the big wanted posters or wanted screens. So it's not super safe to go through the foundry, but it's not something you can't do.
Yeah, it still seems like the safest way. We'll just be cautious about it. Everyone get hoodies. Yeah.
So are you going the whole gang together, including like the like everyone?
I don't think the rest of the gang knows or should know where Bria's kid is, just in case. Paranoid. They might want to use that against us at some point. So maybe we set them like, I don't know, do we want to have them scout for a new place like in the gardens or something? Just like throw, or even if they're not actually looking, like give them something to do so they feel like we're not just doing nothing.
Yanush probably needs to wants to at least be close enough to the old base to hit the button and watch that. So
yeah, that. So send Anush to watch the base and or hit a button. Send the rest of them to sort of scout for any abandoned places in the gardens that we can at least squat in for the moment. And the rest of us carefully make our way to Bria's apartment. Sound like a plan?
Yeah. Esnada, she used to work for the Severage Corporation. They are big in food, the food industry. So she spent some time in the garden. So she knows a couple of places you could to check out.
Cool. She's in charge of that.
Cool. Sure thing, boss. I'll find some place we can squat for a bit. I don't know if there's anything anywhere we can stay permanently, but if it's just for a couple of days, I know some.
The grosser, the better.
Yeah. So, and she looks at all three of you. You're leaving, all three.
Yeah, we need to check on Bria.
We'll catch up to you. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. I think maybe. No, sorry. That's yeah. We'll make a roll for her later. We can roll her since they have a quality. We can roll that to see how well she does. But we'll handle your bit first. So you're traveling through the foundry. How do you make sure you're not picked up by street sec?
It's not too hard for me, but I'm wondering about the rest of y'all. Edema.
I mean, Edema does have a new disguise.
I think Bade is used to, being inconspicuous from her days as a pickpocket.
Yeah.
So can probably get through crowds. The crowded, the better. and not have too much notice.
We want to try to travel like in parallel, like not in a clump, but like a block away from each other, just sort of like so we're not spread out, so we can't help each other, but so that like if someone comes at us, they don't see us all in a group. Because I can take to the rooftops and go that way.
Cool. So Boko travels above, Babe stays in the crowds and fades into that. And Etma, how do you handle that?
I think Etma throws her gear in a bag that she slings over her shoulder, and she's stripped down to basically like a bralette, and she's just going to brazenly walk through with no weapons and use her old tricks of the trade of walking the streets to be brazen enough that most people will look the other way and not have any obvious weapons. That's the plan.
Cool. Since you're sticking like close enough together to help each other, I think this is still a group action.
I agree. I love that setup. That's cool.
It sounds like Prowl, I think.
Yeah, I could see Prowl.
Prowl about unseen, unless you want to make it something else. Everyone has to roll
group,
the same action.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. We're just doing it in different ways.
Yeah, cool. So who's leading? Who has stress to spare?
I and Bade have stress to spare, so maybe Bade, I think you're better at this than I am. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, and since I'm in the crowd, I can, let's see.
I'll lead. Overwatch.
Yep, let me roll this. Ooh. So I got a 2 and a 3.
Nice. Nice say I. That's bad, but that's that's one stress for you, right? You get that even if you fail your spell.
I'll go. That's a 6.
Nice. So that means everyone has at least 6.
No, I haven't rolled. I was like, do I ask for it? But I think I just gotta do it.
Yeah, but since you get to count the best result. But you should still roll. If you get
see there's stress. I got a 4.
Yeah, cool. So that's one stress for Bade. So what is it you do that isn't so great? Everyone like the others are doing okay, but you're trying to direct them. Well, what's tripping you up?
Yeah, so I think as I'm slipping through the crowd, habits take over. And I think I actually picked someone's pocket that I shouldn't. But at the last minute, I realize, I'm kind of picking out marks and saying, okay, this is the person I need to hit. And I slip up, I pick their pocket and get like a wallet or some creds or something. And then I get like a step or two on and I hear this shout. And I'm like, oh, that's a dumbass thing to do. And I leave it on the ground, which really pains me. And they turn around and, and I keep heading on and they're like, oh, I just dropped it. And they pick it back up. So it doesn't really identify that we're there, but it hurt. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So you can see the big screens. You see the street sec officers they're still patrolling, but patrols are a lot lighter than they were a couple of weeks ago when there was all the street fighting and that sort of thing. There are some crowds, but people are generally pretty subdued. It's not a charge feel, but there's like stuff simmering and you can feel in the air that this isn't a normal situation. But you get through. So you get to Bria's apartment. Boko, do you lead them all the way there, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's time to be just like, this is the place. Normally, she would want me to keep this in confidence, but it seems like an extraordinary situation. So I don't know how safe it's going to be in there. I have confidence in us to figure out whatever's going on.
So we shouldn't walk right into this apartment, because if Bria's been taken, security might be there. So we need to, check out the place and make sure that there isn't anybody watching before we walk right in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you still hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I switched over to the voice mod, but just in case. Since there is actually no ambush waiting for you. We as players know that. So you take precautions, you're careful, but there's nothing special going on here. When you get into the apartment, at least Etema knows that Bria's told you that she has a droid who takes care of Valsi during the days. The droid isn't there. And Etema, or I think Boko is the one who can see that, someone's grabbed a bunch of stuff from Valsi's room. His closet is mostly empty.
Toys, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like she took some stuff and took off with him.
But Bria's room does not look like that.
Okay, cool.
Everything's still there. Not that you're sure how much stuff she's here compared to the lair and that sort of thing. But Valsi's room looks like someone's gone through it and grabbed a bunch of stuff. Bria's room does not look like that.
Adama, do you have any idea where they might have taken anyone?
This looks wrong. What? Brie wouldn't have left her stuff behind if she had enough time to grab.
Maybe someone took the kid and she went off after them.
Yeah, that's what happened.
So I think it makes sense.
If her place if it's compromised, Edema's gonna grab a pillowcase and start looking through Bria's stuff to see if there's anything that, Bria would want this. She's gonna just snag it. She's basically cleaning, not cleaning up, but cleaning the room.
Cleaning the place. Yeah.
She's actually surprisingly good at this.
Yeah. Hi. What does Etema find that seems like the sort of thing she'd pick up?
So you're trying to grab my stuff as if I had left in a hurry, you're trying to get the important things. Is that what you're doing? Or are you looking for something? I just double checking what Etema was doing.
Edema's grabbing important things. Oh, Bria would need this. Bria would want this. I also know I have this small amount of space. If Bria discovers any stuff, that would be interesting if you can think of it off the top of your head. But yeah.
But you're trying to. We're assuming this place is burned, so we don't want her coming back.
That's Edema's purpose is okay. I don't think Bria needs to come back here. I'm snagging all her stuff.
You do find identification for Valsi and Bria that make her look like she belongs to another planet and would be a bug out thing. Here's our new identity, here's our new home, kind of thing. But you probably expected to find that. There's a compartment with a really large blaster in it. One of those you hit the headboard and it falls out kind of thing. So
nice.
If I think of anything else, I'll let you know. But
okay,
all I can think of is pragmatic and paranoid. So,
is there anything related to, because we established that you were from Alderaan originally?
Yeah. Shoot. Yeah. An Alderani Bible. I don't know what that is, like, but something that is like distinctly only Alderaan, right? Like Dead Planet, Dead Religion. Yeah, I've got that. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Cool.
If you look through it, Edema, you would eventually find like little phrases that she uses, like when you're on jobs or whatever, to keep herself focused, or like, you know, lining a shot up or something like that. If you don't mind the retcon.
I like it.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
Thank you. Good prompt. Thank you.
So you grab these things, and that it takes just a couple of minutes. Like you said, Rich Etema knows how to do this. And you're out of there. Do you leave something behind, or do you grab these things, get out?
Before we leave, I think Bade's gonna, while they're gathering stuff up, I'm gonna go to the computer system and I'm gonna start, doing obvious searches, things to see if we can't find what's going on with Bria. This would be, I'm looking for tickets that they might have gotten, just someone bought. I'm looking for bolos of, kid missing. I just got an Amber Alert on my phone. That kind of thing. So, oh, you're on mute.
Thank you. I think you'd find that there's a computer that just simply logs communication and stuff like that. And like, I guess you'd see the droid calling me. I don't think it's recorded though.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
You probably don't want your communications recorded, even if that was a thing that could be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you do find is a message from the droid. I don't think we've named this droid.
Yeah.
A message from the droid to Bria, where like a recording, just so I get used. Yeah.
The voice mod. Yeah. Do it.
Bria, I am looking for Ozzy.
Interesting.
I didn't understand any of that.
Let me. I think I did, Mistress Bria. I've gone looking for Volsi, and I'll report back to you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Well, I didn't know it would be that.
No, that's great. Still good.
Yeah. So, when we all get back together, I think Anthem has gathered a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, I've got a witness, and probably flash up like a little holo with a droid. It's a model droid. We have the name, and of course the droid, can't get too far.
You just slap a restraining bolt on those things.
Yeah.
Adama says as she thinks about the trouble she's had with previous protocol droids in other games played by Steven. Duplicitous bastard.
Yeah, so I think we have a lead.
Follow it.
I have an idea for a complication we could add, or like a twist that might be interesting. What if Volsi has a chronic illness and has a medicine that he has to take, and when you look at where the droid normally like recharges or whatever, like its space, you'll see like extra insulin cartridges or whatever it happens to be, space insulin, which might make my aunt have to go and pick some of that up before they leave, kind of thing. That might be...
I know in the lines and veils we have no harm to children. Can we say this is a temporary sickness, Like maybe you
Sure.
didn't know it, but the droid was taking care of it, and he's on antibiotics for some short period of time.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
like
So
it. Yeah.
the aunt would have to go find antibiotics. So we might be able to
Yeah.
track
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Spot on. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think this could be because it's likely that she's going to take him away from here. He's not going to stay here. And to travel, he'd need some sort of immunization or something. He'd need the space vaccine to be allowed to travel. Since he hasn't been out of here for a very long time. If ever, I don't know, was he born on 1313? Or was that before?
No. I ended up leaving the Mandalorians because I want to raise my kid. So that would have been before I came here.
Yeah. But she, you know, she if she's leaving 1313, at least definitely if she's going off planet, she'll need some sort of. They'll need to stop at a clinic to deal with that. Does that make sense?
Love it.
I think as we head out, Bane's like, okay, here's what we know. Someone got to Bria, but they came in, and she's probably in pursuit of the kid that they got a hold of, and the droid is in on it. So that's what we know so far.
The droid is... Yeah, we need to track down the droid then, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot to take a break. So we'll take... Cool. So I think we'll stick with Boko Bay and Atma as you try to track down the droid and or Valsi and or Bria with this very reasonable
the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that could be.
Yeah, so what do you do? What's the plan?
I think I'm going to, since this place is burned, I'm going to see if I can't rip out any of the equipment from it, basically get the equivalent of a scanner. So this is like a police scanner where I'm going to be looking for the reports of a droid or, reports of Bria or Valsi or someone breaking into apartments or something like that.
Yeah. Cool. That sounds like Tinker to me, unless you have some other action you'd like to do.
I'm fine with Tinker. We could also do this could be done as downtime, acquire an asset. I don't think it's that important. I think Tinker's fine. Yeah. You have a suggestion for a devil's bargain?
Well, the scanner could be causing interference, so you won't be like noticed immediately, but it's going to cause. Oh, sorry, no, that's boring. I think it's just highly illegal, so that if you're caught with it, it's going to be bad.
Let's make it a little bit worse and say it's like one of those heavy broadcasters that are illegal in the States that broadcast at like 1,000,000 amps or something like that, or 1,000,000 watts. So basically it overpowers other things. So it causes little blackouts. So it can be tracked to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. And I will roll that. I got a 5.
5. Yeah, I think this is you're probably in a risky position. I don't think it's controlled. So you do it with a consequence. Yeah, I think you get some one of these disturbance things happens to hit just as a street sec vehicle is passing, and they get hit with this, and they jump out and start like asking questions. They haven't noticed your group specifically, but they're jumping out and start trying to track down where this scanner is.
Okay.
But you do it.
Can I resist that?
Sorry? Yeah, you can. You can.
Let me see about resisting that. So in order to resist, I think my resolve is my lowest, so that's 3.
You get to choose what attribute you resist.
Oh, do you? Okay. So I think this is then going to be, this is like a study or a survey kind of thing. So in that case, don't we get +1 die from our group?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see
You're
what that
really
looks
good
like.
at resisting things.
So I got a 5.
Yeah, you take 1 stress.
Got that. And I think what that looks like is, exactly what you said happens. The van pulls up. It got caught in this blackout area. They all jump out with pistols, and then the guy inside the van say, "Hey, it just came back on." And they kind of hop back in, and I'm watching them from across the street, going, "Whew." Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so you do pick up a report of a street sec patrol picking up a droid that was acting weird, and they started. They questioned it, and it reported an owner that was wanted. Actually, it reported Bria as its owner. So you get the name. So the droid has apparently been picked up by street.
Well, I assume we don't want to save the droid, but we might want to wipe it, right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
And it looks like the droid was looking for Bria, so it doesn't know where she is.
Mm-hmm.
It might know you, Boko. Right?
Yeah.
What we established, but
I think I stayed outside the entire time,
okay.
but
Okay.
it's possible. You never know with those droids.
Yeah, I don't know. Kai, does the droid know anything about your illegal activities?
Sure that there's been at least one time where, like, I've put Volsy to bed and I'm on my communicator and I'm talking, not thinking, because droids are just furniture, and so there's a high possibility that it has some information if you ask the right questions, or if you put it into a computer and we're looking for specific things, right?
And it could probably ID whoever took Volsy, right?
Well, that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah. So I think what usually happens with droids that get picked up by streetsec, if they do some, and this is what Boko knows, you do some initial questioning, but then you dump them off at like the droid unit where they have people and other droids who are specifically trained to deal with droids, because regular questioning techniques often doesn't work because they're on this logic loop or something.
They're super frustrating to work with.
Yeah. So you have to have special training to do like questioning of droids, and if you need to check their memory banks directly or something, then you need special training for that as well.
I probably know where that is, right? Yeah. I've had to take folks to the droid unit.
And I think that's actually part of CoreSec. Like we like this division between StreetSec are the street cops, CoreSec are like the detectives or the feds. who do the serious investigating. And I think this is part of their territory, their responsibility. So I think that place would probably be in SecSec. Yeah, that's what makes sense to me. So there's a place in SecSec, I think, like right south of like in the middle of this area between the Foundry and Emerald Road, east that sticks up there, like in the middle there. So it's close to Bright Market. But yeah, that's where they dump the droids, and then the people there just you've done this dozens of times.
Yeah.
You pick up a droid that's acting weird, you ask them questions, and then you dump it there, and they just deal with it, and it's none of your business anymore.
Ooh. Mm.
So I think I can help out with this.
And don't forget, Edma does know who my aunt is. Like, she's worked with her quite a bit. Yeah,
Edma's met her.
Yeah.
Know where her shop is.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is a possibility. That's in Bright Market.
Yep.
Since we're there.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know. This is player checking in. Do we split up and do both these kind of simultaneously because we're in a hurry, or do we want to do one and then the other?
I'm curious what Bade's idea was for SecSec. Anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, so I've got a droid BD-8, and I pull it out of my pack, and I think, you could always just drop off a droid that's acting funny at this place, and that's the way in.
Yeah, it's tricky because Boko is also up on this big wanted screens. So not Bade though. Bade, you haven't made it to the big time where you're on the screens. So that's
work
probably...
harder, Bade. Work harder.
And while we're in player mode instead of character mode, just curious, is everybody actually like, we need to take care of this, or is there any thought of like, maybe we should just take care of getting out of our place and getting a new place, right? Like you keep pulling on this thread, and it gets longer and longer and longer. And just curious, at some point where you're just like, we got to take care of ourselves, I know Edema might have a different point of view on it.
Yeah, I was about to say there is no place without Bria.
Yeah, I think like if we hear back from the other gang members and they're like, there's no good place, then we'll go there. I think right now everyone's worried about Bria.
Cool, good to know.
Yeah, and this could be worried about Bria because you care about Bria. This could be worried about Bria because she's gone missing. She knows a lot of stuff. She could really nail us if she's turned or something. So.
Well, yeah, but we could actually nail her too. We know a lot of things, but it's one of those things. I want to see the goodbye. Like Bade was walking into the apartment expecting, a goodbye note, and I'm like, okay, then we're good, and we'll go find our place. But Bria didn't take any of her stuff, so that's super weird. Yeah.
Yeah, so back to Rich's question. Do you split up or do you stick together?
If we do the droid plan, that seems pretty low touch, so we can probably stick together to do the visit. That's cool with everyone.
Yep, Edema, watch your backs.
So do you want me to walk in and do this thing with the droid? I mean, you could just tell me what to do, and I can just walk in there and say, yeah.
Yeah, you're probably the best to do it, so.
Yeah.
Take the lead.
Yeah, so I'll do that. I'm going to go where Boko says, and, I think Boko will say, okay, this is what you'll do. You'll act all bored, like this is a pain, and you'll drop off the droid.
This is the person at the front desk. They like this kind of snack or whatever. Like,
yeah, and this is the form you'll have to fill out and put down this guy. He's a snot. Put his name on it, and all that kind of stuff, and fill out that form. They'll never look at it, and then they'll take the droid and put it in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So sorry, was Bade going alone to do that, or were the rest of you tagging along, but just staying outside, or did you split up?
I think maybe Boko, you are Overwatch. Edema goes in, but has the all you need is a hood going on.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good.
That way, if need be, I can throw an assist Bade's way without it seeming too controversial.
Yeah. So Bade, you're at the desk. You get this like data pad where they want you to check this and that and fill out this form, blah blah. And Etema, you're hanging back, waiting. And this you can see this guy at the front desk is very bored. There's I don't think there are any other like guards here, but there's a droid mopping the floor. It's a pretty rundown place. You can tell that these aren't high. They don't get the high priority funding exactly, and they act like it. But while you're waiting for Bade to finish this, you get a call on your comms.
Yeah. I think I'm the farthest away, so I'll pick up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I think I'm the farthest away, so I'll pick up.
Yeah. Oh no, this is for Etema. This is Etema's.
Oh, it doesn't come to the group. It just comes directly to
No. It's just you.
I don't know if in your head canon for Star Wars there's a caller ID, so I assume not. I've never seen that happen.
There isn't. You can't see who's calling without picking up.
Edema will hide
not
her face.
on these personal comms anyway.
Sure, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. Edema will hide her face because she knows where the cams are. It's Imperial, like they always do it the same way. So she hides her face and brings up the little lipstick case looking comm unit. Yeah.
Your friend Bria led me away from the discussion we were having. So now I'm talking to you instead. I'm here with Zori at her place. I trust you know where that is.
Yeah.
Bria told me that you have disposed of the artifact. Is this correct?
I'm not telling you anything. Why would I tell you anything?
Zori is useful to my employers. So unfortunately, they have restricted me from doing any permanent damage to her. But this does not extend to her underlings. And you hear a blaster shot, and you hear someone screaming in the background.
Whoa, wait. I could tell you where the artifact is, but you got to get clear. I need to know that you're not going to hurt our people.
If I get the artifact, I will not come after you again unless you give my employers reason to send me. But if you lie to me, then I will hunt down everyone you know, all your friends, all your family. And I will do to them what I did to Boko's friend, Celine, what I just did to this person here now. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I understand.
Good. Then tell me.
No, I'll meet you and tell you. I can't talk over the comms. It's hot.
Fine. I will contact you with a time and a place.
All right.
And it switches off.
Nice.
Yeah, and Bade, you're done with filling out this form, dropping off your droid. What's the next step of the plan?
So I think I drop off the droid and I leave, like a bored cop does. But the droid is going to go in, knows to find Bria's droid, and is going to, I assume all the droids in here have restraining bolts and that kind of stuff. And BD-8, I think, has a fake one, so can still follow my instructions, and hops in and downloads the data from Bria's droid, not like a brain transfer, because it doesn't really care about that, but what happened and what's going on, and wipes
like
it.
a log.
Yeah, and wipes it. Does a format just like you normally would with a droid. So when the cops come to show up, it's like, oh, this one's already been formatted, put it in the scrap heap and move on, kind of thing. Yeah.
Cool. I think this is a roll for the droid. So we roll with its quality. Your tier 2, so I think it's got 2 dice.
Okay.
So you make that roll.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's horrible.
Yeah, that did not work. I think you get a transmission from what's it called? I keep forgetting the
BD-8.
BB-8. Yeah. It's not BB-8. It's BD-8. Yeah. You get a transmission oh, sorry, now I need to use the voice mod first.
Mission compromised. They're trying to escape. Help, help.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go back. As soon as I get that thing, I'm going to go back to the front door. I'm going to say, I just turned a droid over to you, right? I just got a message that it might have weapons armed, so we need to go grab that right away. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me get a sway, I think.
Yeah. I'm going to push myself.
So is this a thing where Bade hadn't actually made it out of? Because I was Emma was in there.
Yeah,
so did we walk out and then you got the message, or what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think you're about to leave when you get the message, because this was just a quick in and out for the droid.
Sure.
So you haven't had time to leave. So you can help if you want to.
How do you think you could help? Yeah.
How do you? I think. God, I really want to threaten to hurt people.
Do it.
Yeah. I think it's. She gets up and says, "Listen, you better not cark up. We go all the way up."
Cool. Take a stress. Etama takes a stress, and Bade gets another die.
Still not great. Okay, let me roll and see how that looks.
Jeez.
I got a 5.
Didn't you push yourself as well?
I didn't think I could push and get help.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
you can. You can't push and get the devil's bargain, but aid is on top of that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to roll one more.
Since you just rolled the 2 dice, you can keep that if you want.
Okay, I'll do that. Don't want to complicate things.
Cool. So you succeed, but with a complication, and the the guy he like backs off and yeah sure, just go through, and he like buzzes the door open. But he's definitely going to call this in because this is not regular. So
a
that's
freaking Ratataki just like tried to roll him over.
Yeah. So that's the complication, which you can resist if you want. But that's Bade who can resist it, since it's Bade's action.
Yeah, I'll resist that. And I'm gonna resist that probably with. Let's do that with the same, sway kind of thing that I did before. So I got a 6.
Nice. So no stress. How do you or is it just that you preempt this in some way, or
Yeah. So I think what I do is as I slip in, I remind the guard, thanks. I mean, I know you're just saving your own ass, because if anyone knew that you let an armed droid in here, it'd be both of us, right? So, and then I slip on in, knowing that, he's not going to say anything about it because it would be his ass. And, yeah, I'm going to head in and see if I can't find where BD-8 is. Yeah.
cool. Yeah. You see BD-8, someone probably there's a bunch of droids back here, and they're like there's a bunch of droids working here, and there's a bunch of droids that are kept in like storage units that are kind of like jail cells but really small. They don't need to move around, so they just stuff them in there and lock the door. But you can see in because they need to see in, so it's just like bars in front of there, and you can see BD-8 in one of these, and you spot the same model of droid, at least as Bria's droid, further down the hall.
So I'm going to first I'm going to see if I can get BD-8 out. So I'm going to try slicing the door to get the prison open. Is it locked up, or can I just reach in and grab him?
I think this you got he passed you like a key card because you needed to get in there and do this.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you can unlock whatever doors you need here.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Grab BD-8 and then see if I can't. I'm going to walk down, look around, and see if I can't get to the droid that matches the description that we have of Bria's.
Yeah, since it seems like you're supposed to be here, none of the droids working here are bothering you. So you can definitely, you can just go there and let it out or check it up or do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm just going to open it up. I'm just going to open this thing up and do what I said before. Connect up like a little thing, download the contents of memory, sort of like the answering machine, to a drive, and then wipe it as we're getting clean. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that sounds like a tinker roll, and
Yeah.
you probably need to mark your slicing tools, and that's just in case. I mean, that's not super important now, but just in case you need a bunch of other stuff before you have a chance to up your.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can help me in here, so I'm going to push myself and roll 3d6. See what that looks like. 331.
The dice are determined to tell a certain type of story.
Yep.
Yeah, they are. Ooh. So this is risky. So things go badly. Suffer harm and complication, lose this opportunity, or your position becomes desperate. Yeah, I think as you're working on this, you haven't got everything connected up yet. There's like a guard droid. It's not armed, but it's clearly patrolling the area, who stops by and
You there? You have identification.
And I'm like, yeah, yeah. And I start patting myself down. And I'm going to pull out my pistol. I'm going to blast it. I'm going to blast the Bria's droid and then run. Yeah.
Awesome. That kind of sounds like wreck.
Okay.
Or I mean, you could do skirmish instead if you want, or if you have some other idea.
I think either of those are fine. Let's do. Okay. Let's do wreck. Actually, skirmish. Let's do skirmish. And do you have a devil's bargain?
Ooh. The just blasting Bria's droid will not completely erase the files on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. So I think that's my mighty 2d6. And I can't do a devil's bargain and push myself. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm at 2d6.
Wait. You can do you can't devil's bargain and push yourself for more dice. You can do a devil's bargain and push yourself with one of the two, changing the effect.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can increase it from, standard to great, etc.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to try and do that.
Yeah. That helps a lot in this situation. I mean, yeah, you could more completely blast the droid, like just now you're just shooting it. So
my intention here isn't really to destroy the guard droid, and it's sort of only to destroy Bria's droid, but it's really to get in and get out, right?
Yeah,
Everything's foobarred, so let's get out. So I think I could increase the effect level by pushing myself in order to get out more clean, right? If I get out at some point, so yeah, I'm going to push myself and roll my mighty 2d6. I got a 4.
Yeah, you do it with a consequence. Yeah, the consequence is, I think this your shot sets the droid on fire, so the fire alarm will go off, and which will draw attention. You can get out of there, but there's going to be a bigger investigation into this than it would have been otherwise.
Great. So yeah, that's awesome. And I think, if you don't mind, as I run down the hallway, I'm hitting buttons to activate droids randomly as I'm running out. And, I think as I come running out that door and it kind of closes and we see this shocked look of the guard, I'm like, bomb went off. And I kind of look at Entima and smile and wink and say, let's get out. Let's go. Caused enough damage here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Cool. So you've at least partly wiped the droid. You got the information. You're out of there. I think this is when Bria wakes up. And you wake up in a what is quite obviously a holding cell of some kind. There's like a small window with bars high up on the wall. There's like nothing else in the room. And there's a big heavy metal door with like one of those little slide windows on it.
Do I have anything on me or?
You have your clothes, and your injuries have been patched up. But
they took my armor, right?
Yeah, they took your armor, they took your weapons, everything that wasn't really well hidden. So maybe you had something, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I guess she starts like bumbling Alderani Bible verses to herself. Now that we've established that. But that window isn't too high up for someone like me. I want to jump up there and take a look and see what I can see.
Yeah, it hurts. You don't get up there on the first try because these new injuries are kind of bad. But you do get up there. Did we name your harm? Because you took level 2 harm, right?
Level 2 harm, got it.
Yeah, you reduced it, but only to level 2 because you would have just been straight up dead otherwise. So I guess blaster burns or something.
Like, are we talking like broken bones of some sort, or?
I don't think so. I think this is more like you haven't taken like shots to any vital areas, but you're in a lot of pain. So there were a lot of like not quite hits, not quite misses.
Okay. All right.
But I think you took like one solid hit to the leg, maybe.
To the leg. Okay. How about it's numb, and therefore it's hard for me to use it because I can't feel like the responses from it. So like when your feet go weird and you can't walk because you've been
yeah.
That sounds good. Pins and needle, I guess. But all right, not numb.
But yeah, on like the second try, you get up to the window and you look out over some sort of courtyard where there's a bunch of stormtroopers marching, and you can see the shaft in the docks in the background. You're obviously in the garrison.
In the garrison, all right, not the cube. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't send you to the cube before you've had the trial. I mean, the trial maybe won't take very long, but.
Well, I was unconscious. They could have done a trial while I was asleep. You know, that's just efficiency right there. I'm sure she desperately tries to figure out some way of squeezing through these bars. Not that she would have any place to go outside. I mean, just complete ridiculousness.
Yeah, you're obviously like 3 or 4 floors up. You're not on the ground level. You can't see what the wall looks like outside, but it's probably not good.
Okay. All right.
And you hear the shutter on the window in the door open.
Right.
Oh, you're awake. Excellent. And we can start the interrogation. And the door and it slams shut again. And we'll cut back to the others.
Oh, Kirk.
So cheerful.
Crucifixion, good. Line forms on the left.
Yeah, so you think you've wiped Bria's droid. You've downloaded the log, and from what you can get from that is that someone who is identified as Roslyn came to visit. This is what's happened recently. And she said that she was taking Valsi for, I don't remember what it was she told you, Bria, but the droid conveyed some sort of excuse for why Roslyn was picking up Valsi. And then the droid has communicated with Bria, and it's noted that Bria was unhappy with the droid's performance, and then the droid had decided to sometime later, like an hour or two later, decided that it should go look for Valsi. And Etama, you obviously know who Rosalind is. So
Rosalind is her aunt. I got a call from our big bad that that Bree was talking to her and now isn't talking to her. I'm not sure what she meant by that, but she wants the artifact. That's the whole reason that assassin's after us.
Oh, well, problem solved. Then we don't have it.
She's got Zori. And she's going to hurt Zori's people until we give her the artifact. So I think we need to kill her.
I mean, I like that plan.
Okay. Let's go do that.
Okay. So I think that's a good idea. But we have another couple of problems, which is that, you guys have big posters up on the wall that everybody wants. And by the way, luck is not with us. Everything is just going to shit. So.
What do you mean? You took care of the droid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you think it's a good idea to take on, the person that you shot the crap out of and still coming? Maybe.
Oh, it's not the best idea I've had lately.
So does she want us specifically, or does she want the artifact?
She wants the artifact. That's all she wants.
So we just point her at the witch.
Okay.
She's a creepy badass. She should be able to take care of herself, right?
Sure. What if she killed Bree?
Oh yeah, then we kill her for sure.
Okay.
I'm good with this then.
Yep.
And I'm not against just killing her on principle either, because I mean that is a bad storm that's just brewing out there waiting to hit us again. So
yeah.
And I don't know exactly who all's after this artifact thing. It seems like a silly rock for everybody to be concerned about, but there's basically a rule on the street that if someone knows something about you, you need to make sure that they don't. So if I were this assassin and I had their resources, I would get rid of everyone along the thread. So we give over the witch, that's fine, but I don't think that takes the heat off of us.
no, I agree.
And at that, whenever Boko agrees, they just beams like this is the best thing ever.
It's so adorable. They's the best girl.
My main concern is getting Bria back. Whatever happens with Artifact and the assassin, that's secondary.
Right.
Does she say she knows where Bria is?
No. This is about Zori. I think if she knew where Bria was, she wouldn't have called me. She led with that. So I feel pretty confident that Bria gave her the slip.
Or Bria's dead.
Pretty confident that Bria gave her the slip. Once I find otherwise,
yeah, she would be
I'll deal with
gloating if she was, or if she had killed her, she would be gloating.
Good point. Yeah.
And Edema gives Bait a look of like, even if that doesn't hold water, you're going to agree to this because we are not discussing the alternative any further than what you just said. So she doesn't say those words except with her eyes.
So what did Karnak propose?
She says she'd call me with a location and a time. And then we meet with her. And as long as I roll over on where the artifact is, Zori Bliss is okay. So we've got a ticking clock to find where Bria is and make sure she's okay. And then I'm gonna meet with Karnak and tell her the truth, I guess.
Should we tell her to meet us at the hideout?
Oh, that's such a great idea.
Just to clarify a thing, is Etema intentionally not saying that Karnak was going to go after everyone, like all your friends? Is she intentionally limiting this to Zori?
Well, that's only if she doesn't get what she wants. And I think we've kind of agreed. Yes, I'm intentionally not mentioning that she threatened.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a black sun. Like to Edema, that's just so matter of course. She just assumes they know.
Yeah,
and if they don't know, great, because it's kind of unnerving.
Of course, Bade does not know.
Right. Of course,
right? Bade's like, yeah.
Bade's had a rough day. You had to murder some droids. It's okay.
Yeah, Boko, you get a call from S. She says, "Yeah, I've set up a place," and she gives you the coordinates in the gardens, and she does this in kind of a roundabout code sort of way. She doesn't talk like give you the exact coordinates on the open comms, and you hear someone in the background that's probably going to be Jita, like. Yeah, and it stinks in here. Yeah, it's a warehouse. They're still using it, but it's fine. It's fine. We're in
Great.
It's safe.
Make yourself at home. Take the best room. You did a great job. Thank you. We have some loose ends to take care of, and we will join you all soon.
Cool. Thanks, boss.
So the question is, do we want to just give up the artifact, or do we want to try and blow her up?
I mean, she said she would call you.
Yeah.
She says she'd call me.
Yeah.
But if I can try to counter, offer like, no, come to our hideout, which sounds like a rookie move. If she's got eyes on that place, though, she probably knows.
Yeah, and it's crawling with troopers, so. I wouldn't want to go there either.
Here's another option, Bade says. What about pointing Corsec and Sexsec at Karnak? Basically, if we could, tell them that she's the secret leader of our group that's been on the down low, then they would go after her with their formidable might, and maybe we wouldn't have to be on the run as much.
I like the way you think.
I like that better than other options we've discussed.
Blowing them up is nice, but
it'd be hard to arrange, though.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't think it's gonna happen anytime.
Is there a way to open the channel on your comms so that Sexsec or the garrison picks it up when they make she contacts us?
And that's when Adama just suddenly like grabs Boko by the sleeves. I think Celine's dead.
Wait, what?
She said she took care of Celine. Like she talked about torturing Zori's people and said, like I did to Celine. I'm sorry. There was a lot going on. I just remember she said that.
Well, okay, that's wow. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, good, but also not good.
No, it's okay. I know you guys were like eye-carking each other constantly, and I secretly shipped you. I'm sorry for your loss.
Okay, I'm gonna pin that on my corkboard, my space corkboard, and think about that when I have time for feelings.
Does mean she's taken out an imp, though.
That's true. That is a plus.
Etema, your comms it goes active.
Yeah, you got me.
Here are the coordinates, and she gives you coordinates that are in Sexsec, like halfway between the garrison and the warren. It's like in the middle of Sexec.
It's in the middle of Sexec. What are you, crazy? He's back at my hideout. This is terrible.
I have friends that you don't. Either come there in an hour or you know what happens.
Yeah, I know what happens, but if I show up there, I tell you what you want to know, and then I get nabbed. I'm not getting benched for her. I don't want Zori to die, but come on, I'm not that dumb.
There's another blaster shot, and you don't hear anyone screaming this time, but
I don't know how to resist that, so I guess it happens. Damn it. I silently just look, because I played this to where Boko and Bae could hear it. I looked to them, silently asking, like, do I agree to this? This is a terrible idea. But secretly, Edema would never say this, but it does mean that we'll be surrounded by Stormy, so I just kill them before I get taken out. Okay, back off. I'm on my way. I'll see you in an hour.
Good. And she hangs up.
Well, at least she's probably convinced she has us on our back foot, because she does.
Is she by herself at Zori's, or does she have goons with her?
I don't.
Like when she leaves, is Zori alone?
I think you guys should go find out. I'll meet with her. You go try to get Zori's peeps free if they're not already free.
I don't think I want to leave you alone in the middle of Sexec. Fade.
Yes.
You want to come with us to Sexec?
Oh yeah. I'm definitely going in. I'm definitely going in. I thought we'd all go in as a group. And it sounds like Etima's going to meet with Kernok, and I think we shouldn't leave her alone. I was just trying to figure out. Anyway? So yeah, I'm going with Etima, definitely.
Maybe we could send some of the gang over to Zori's just to make sure she's safe.
Yeah, it's so nice having a gang. Yeah. I'm just just random thought. Good to have a gang.
Do we have any snitches in Sexec?
You have Bria's fiance's sister who works in the bureaucracy, in the security department there. That's the closest you have to a contact in Sexec.
I mean, we had Celine, but it sounds like she's gone.
She's unavailable, at least.
Okay.
We find her. Petra is her name, right?
I can at least get on a rooftop and cover you. Bade, what do you think?
Yeah. So the plan is that Etima goes in and meets with Kernok. I provide backup for Etima, and Boko, you're going to be on a rooftop covering us.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Put a blaster through her face if she looks at us wrong.
Well, you need an upgrade to your blaster then, because
I hit her with everything I had, and she's still around, so she's tough. I think she's probably a cyborg, because that would be my guess.
Yeah, I think Bree at least knows that she has implants the way, or mods the way, similar to what Bree herself. I think we'll take a second break here, 5 minutes. Yeah, so Bria, the door opens. a couple of guards step in, and these aren't stormtroopers. They're not in that kind of heavy armor, but they have like stun batons is, I think, one of the names for them at least, and they're very clearly prepared for you to be troublesome. They don't like beat you up unprovoked, but they're definitely ready to let you have it if you should try to resist. And they're followed by an Imperial officer and a one of those black hovering torture droid things, interrogation droid, I think is the euphemistic term for them.
Right, right.
Ah, yes, the infamous rebel. Now we shall see what you know. And they're going to start being kind of nasty to you.
Okay. I gain more information by being non-combative. I mean, I'm really hurt right now. So, like, also, I think I'm going to go with the trauma of soft. I meekly follow them. If they attack me, then they attack me. I'm not fighting back.
Yeah. Now they bring you to I think they lead you down the corridor, and you can see the door standing open to a room with this sort of like a what do you call it? Not like a bed, but like one of these where you're like leaning back and
yeah.
You get that. Yeah, I don't think we'll go into the details there. I think we need most of the rest of the time to resolve the situation with Kernok, but we'll see how.
I mean, I could make a literal resistance roll.
You can, yeah, absolutely. You can definitely do that. In this case, I think it kind of has to be resolved.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you want to argue for something else, you could.
No. I'm not dodging the interrogation droid's needles. I'm not out talking for Imperials.
Yeah, and we kind of discussed this during the break, but we haven't asked first for torture. If anyone feels that this is too icky, then just let me know and we'll scrub it. And
okay,
cool.
So my resolve is my only non-4 because I refuse to take a rank in a tune.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
but
3
you still
plus
have 4 dice since you have the extra from the.
Yep.
So I think this is like, you 6 on
Stress
that.
free, my friend. Stress free.
So, yeah, and I think this is resisting like the initial shock of being here, then starting to question you. But then I think you'll need to make some kind of action roll to like either not talk or try to spin them a yarn or something. I don't know what your approach is.
Let me think on that, and you can come back to me.
Yeah, cool. So we'll cut back to the others. You're pretty pressed for time to get to the coordinates Kernok gave you in time. Boko, you kind of know the area. You spent enough time in SecSec to know what it looks like. This isn't as heavily built up as some areas. This is kind of a commercial district, like mixed commercial and residential. It's not like center the center of the security apparatus. If
I think I'm going to assume that she has some intel on our like methodology and whatnot. And instead of like going for a rooftop again, like maybe get an alley with a line of sight, get behind a dumpster, or find a grassy knoll or whatever.
Yeah, cool. Make a roll for that, like setting up. Are you trying to set up an ambush and just so you can nail her whenever, or are you primarily trying to cover Etma and Bay?
I think definitely like put myself in position so I can keep an eye on them, and I assume we'll have comms on. But then like at least slow her down if she makes a move. So I don't expect I'll be able to one-shot her, just like or if we get company, then to open up.
Cool. So what do you want to roll for that?
Would that be a prowl to set up an ambush? Or
could use prowl if you're focused on like staying hidden, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
If that's your primary concern.
Yeah, because I think I'm mostly concerned about her seeing that Etma has backup.
Cool.
Cool.
So give me a prowl roll.
So that's 2. Yeah, let's just go with 2 and see what happens. That's a 5. That's okay.
That's a 5. You find the coordinates are for, it's like a small square, like an open air, to the extent that anything on Coruscant is open air square. You find a place where you can see like at least half this area, but there's you spot several SecSec officers there. They are not people you know. They have like the uniforms for people who work inside SecSec. So you can't get really close. That's I think that's the complication or whatever you want to call it. You have a view. You can resist that if you want. That would mean that you get to, so like where you are right now, you can intervene, but you can't get close.
Yeah, I think I'll resist that. Why not? 4 dice across, so +1. I resist everything from 5 dice starting. Resist. Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool. So you get
so probably see them and then realize that this is not an optimal position and reposition somewhere.
Yeah. So you're like in an alley. You realize, you can't quite see from here, but if you go around back, you can get to a better place. So you've stashed yourself in an alley, looking out.
Maybe there's maybe like an avenue leading down to it, and like back in an alley at the end of that. So if I have a line, but it's not up close. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, since you resisted, you can get there fairly quickly. That was kind of the thing that was holding you back. So Etma and Bay, you know where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be there kind of now. You've also spotted these security officers. You're not sure if they have seen you, but yeah, what do you do?
She's making a really big power play here. I'll even mutter that to Bade. She's making a big power play, showing her hand. But I guess we got to do this, right?
Yeah. So She's seen me, but I don't think any of Corsic has.
Yeah, you need to stay scarce.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip away from you, Ettima, and I've got your back, and I'm going to slip around where these guards are.
Uh-huh.
And I think all I'm going to do is I'm just going to plant a charge next to them, and then skedaddle back out. So if something goes on, it's at least a distraction.
Okay.
So don't be surprised if, a building falls or there's a big boom.
Okay.
Yep.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So
I'm actually, you got this, and I kind of pat you on the back, Ettima.
I think this means you need to check off like an unusual weapon, maybe.
Okay.
Or something to represent like this explosive charge.
Okay. Ooh, there's demolition tools.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, those are more like there's in the note there. Those are more like tools for bringing things down.
Oh, okay.
I think an unusual weapon could represent like some sort of small explosive charge.
Okay, that sounds good.
Cool. So Ettima, what's the plan? Or the play, at least?
Yeah. I think Edema will step out to where she can be seen, expecting that Karnak will show up. Just can't really call her back, right? So it's like,
yeah. You step out onto this square. You see a couple of these, like a pair of these SecSec officers march down the street, and they look like they're patrolling. They spot you, and they point to you, and then they point to what looks like a small cafe or something.
Nod.
And then they keep walking. And there's you realize now there's no civilians out here on the square. It's empty.
Head to the cafe. I've got. Yeah, I'm got my hand near my vibroblade. This just reeks of danger.
Yeah, you get inside. You see a terrified Togruta who's standing behind like the counter, and she's absolutely she's like petrified. And then when you take one more step inside, you see one of the Black Sun goons is standing beside her, and he's got like his arms crossed and he's holding a blaster, like casually pointed in her general direction, and he just waves for you to go inside.
I'll go inside. I give the guy a look like I'm super not impressed that you have a gun on some random lady. It's like a withering look of, you think you're a big guy?
Please.
If I ever catch you in an alley.
Speaking of alleys, once I see her go in there, definitely want to make sure at least I have a view of the front, if not like a shot inside.
Yeah. You can like follow Ettima walking along there. She goes inside. You can't follow her all the way. It's not windows all the way. There's like Ettima, you continue in, and there's like a couple of booths in like the back, and you see you hear hear some mumbled words, and then you see Freeze Mop. He steps out, and he's also looking terrified. And yeah, over here, Etma.
Mosey my way over. So you got messed up in this?
Yeah, I'm with Zori now, so.
Yeah, makes sense. Do I know who she hurt?
No, I don't think it's anyone,
Okay. Guess I follow you to her.
Yeah. And he leads you down to the booth in the very back.
I kind of take his arm and walk beside him.
Mhm.
Where's Bree?
I don't know. She jumped out the window.
Okay.
I don't know if she got away, but when she came back, she was hurt. So maybe.
Where is she hurt?
Ooh, where is she hurt? Like he gestures towards his side, like yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you talking,
Okay. I mean, you got all these people in the way, so I figured you were busy.
I am, but this is a priority. Please just sit down and tell me what I want to know. And she's sitting in the booth. She's got her back like towards you when you step around the booth. She's like she's got her back towards where the direction you were coming from. And there's another goon standing. There's like the door to the kitchen is across from the booth. He's standing in the doorway. Not he doesn't have his weapon up, but he's standing there watching you.
Cool. I just want to clock this. We got guy at front.
Yep.
Goon back here. Karnak.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else?
Not unless you count.
I'm just casually like I'm
looking.
I'm looking around. Like I don't care if she's pissed
cool.
off at this point. I'm clocking this place.
Yeah. Cool. You are in a desperate position, and I think you're trying to survey, maybe.
Yeah, that feels right. I think I'll save my stress. Oh, it's a 1. Awesome.
Yeah. That's I think, let's see. Doesn't make sense for them to just shoot you.
Yeah, I actually think. Well, sorry. Yeah.
No. Go ahead.
I just. It's kind of like I'm gathering information, but yeah. Tell me what's up. It's all good.
I think you just. If you don't want to piss her off to the point where she kills Freeze Mop, you have to just sit down there. And once you're sitting, you can't really look around a lot.
Okay.
So you don't really have time to look for anyone else. There could be more people back in the kitchen. You don't know what's going on outside since you can't see out. But it seemed like the sec officers that were outside were in on this. So you know that at least.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going. I'll have a seat.
So tell me, where is it?
Well, it was kind of hot, if you recall. We sold
I
it.
don't care. No
we
stalling.
sold it.
I know.
Hera the witch has it.
He has it where?
Rich is fuzzy on where the actual trade-off went, or
You
I'll give
don't
her all
know
the information
where
I have. Like,
yeah, you don't know where her hideout is. You know, she's her power center is in the Warrens.
yeah, she's in the Warrens. She's hidden it away somewhere in the Warrens. You know where the Warrens is? I can draw it on a map for you.
You're really trying my patience.
I've told you everything I know. I've been completely upfront with you.
I could search the Warrens for years and not find anything. This is useless.
Okay. She just throws. I'm not sure what else to tell you. I've given you all the information I have. You need to let those people go.
I don't need to do anything. You need to get me the artifact. If you can't tell me where it is, get it for me.
No.
She shoots Freeze Mob.
I'm going to stab her a lot.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, you can resist her shooting Freeze Mob if you want to make a resistance roll for that.
I'm willing to make a resistance roll. Sorry, this is evil. But does that give me an opening? Like, will I get any kind of bonus if I go after her the moment she brings that blaster out to shoot Freeze Mob?
No, these are separate.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine, legitimate option. Then yes, I do wish to resist her shooting Freeze Mob.
Cool.
He is not a teammate, so I don't think bodyguard fits here.
Yeah.
I feel like prowess is what I lean on the hardest. Maybe it's a shove the table kind of deal is a little bit of how I'm pulling that off. And then we have don't we have a resistance roll? Forged in the fire. Yeah. So I'm rolling with 5.
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy that this doesn't affect. You know, I just want to say, I've said this before, the name Freeze Mob is just the greatest Star Wars name I may have ever heard. I love it so much.
It's straight out of the Gungan name generator. So
that's crazy. And broken watch strike twice a day. 5 dice, and the best I got was a 5. That's one.
You take 1 stress.
Okay. Boy, am I
but
glad.
That means you stop her from shooting Freeze Mob. And then you want to stab her, and I think that's skirmish, probably.
That seems like exactly what I would call it.
Don't forget the XP.
Oh, thank you. I did mark it, actually. But thank you for that.
Yeah, you don't get XP for resistance rolls. So. But you did roll. You should get the XP for your survey earlier. Because
I marked the XP for the survey. You're right. I will not get
cool,
XP
cool.
on resistance.
Yeah.
Okay.
She did get a shot off, though. She just didn't shoot Freeze Mob, right?
Sorry?
Did she get a shot off, or did she just not shoot at all?
I think if Etema shoves the table at her, yeah, then the blaster goes off. And that's definitely something both you and Bade will hear.
Thank you for that question. Explosions need to happen.
Yeah.
And shootings.
So, yeah, so Etema, you're going to stab the scary Black Sun assassin.
I am.
You're in a desperate position.
Fair.
From before, and since she has these various mods, and this is what she does, this is her thing, and she's higher tier than you, your baseline is 0 effect.
That is absolutely fair. So I am Battleborn. So I'm going to expend my special armor to push myself during a fight.
Yep.
So I'll use that to push instead of having to burn stress.
Mm-hmm.
And that should push me to regular effect.
That pushes you to limited effect.
Limited effect. Can I take a devil's bargain to get myself to
standard effect?
Standard? Yes.
Yeah.
All
absolutely.
Right. So what's our devil's bargain? It's getting darker and scarier by the moment.
Someone have a good suggestion for a devil's bargain?
What if she deflects some of the pressure from the table to freeze mop?
Ooh, freeze mop gets hurt.
Freeze mops get hurt. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, she's got a thug right with her. Maybe that guy is supposed to do damage.
Or maybe more thugs come out the back when they hear the ruckus.
God.
Yeah, I don't think we need a devil's bargain for that. But freeze mop getting hurt, yeah, that's in like the general scuffle. You go to stab her. She's got her blaster. Freeze mop gets hit. He's not going to get killed outright, but he's going to take a hit.
Okay, I will accept that devil's bargain, which gets me to standard effect. Jeez, all that to get to standard. Jeez, this is amazing, and I'm screwed. But I do have a good skirmish. Yes?
I could potentially help. Would you like that?
I'd love it.
Okay, great. So I think what this looks like is Bade has actually, since she was out in the crowd, out in the street, there was nobody here. Bade fakes being kind of drunk, collapses next to the front door, after Etema's gone in. And then we see like a bottle roll out, and then playing the whole homeless thing. Maybe there's a little bit of liquid that kind of pours out onto the sidewalk, from where Bade is. But whenever the scuffle starts inside, Bade swings around and pushes the door open with a loud bang. So there's line of sight from Boko inside, right? And I think that my assistance with Etema is the loud bang, something's behind them.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, that works.
Okay, then I am now up to 5 dice regular effect. Mm-hmm. Unless I take that help and push to better effect instead of an extra die. Can I do that? Nice. Push to a great effect?
I think aid is only the die.
Okay, that's fine. We don't. If that's, we can look it up later. I'm perfectly fine if that's what it is. All right, 5 dice, standard effect. Here we go. Oh my God!
What? Wow.
3 1s, a 2, and a 3.
Oof.
Take your XP.
Yeah,
wow.
You get your XP. So yeah, the worst outcome. You don't stab her. I think there's going to be multiple consequences here. She shoots you in the face, and that's one thing that happens. The goon kills Freeze Mop. And I think when Bade slams the door, the goon behind the counter just he squeezes off a shot and kills the Togruta behind the bar.
Oh wow, that is a
Wow.
lot. That is an amazing set of dominoes.
And your stock in Disney goes down or something. Like, just keep piling it on.
Okay, I'm not going to resist the stock in Disney going down.
This is not a good situation, and that terrible roll, you kind of deserve it. Or
I will.
Dice sold you out or whatever. But yeah, getting shot in the face. I mean, it's going to be pretty much the same deal that Bria got with the stormtroopers. That's like if you don't resist it, you die. You're taking a heavy blaster shot straight to the face at short range that kills you. If you resist it or expand armor, you push it down to level 2 harm.
I will resist this. Wow. Jeez. Sorry, it's just so ugly. Okay.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It's good though. She is the most terrifying of terrifyingness. Resisting face shot. Here we go. Oh, thank you, 6.
Yeah. Now you show up. So no stress for that. You actually have one more die because that's probably resolved, right? You have the extra die.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. I mean, well,
You'll get a crit.
Yeah, crit. So let's just see it. Nah, so close.
Cool. Do you want to resist Freeze Mop dying and the Togruta behind the?
Sure, it's just stress.
Cool.
I'm gonna resist Freeze Mop dying, and I think what we see here is Edema moves back, but she grabs the table and maybe flings it to knock Freeze Mop down. So sorry, Freeze Mop, you're getting a giant frisbee, but maybe it will save your life. Or actually, I'm resisting it, so it does that thing, and I take a stress for it.
Yep.
Wow, this is scary as hell. Awesome. So that was death. I resisted it, so I took it down to a level 2?
Yeah.
And now I will expend armor?
No, you can only do one or the other.
Oh.
So you take the level 2 harm. That's just going to happen. But the resistance moves it from death to level 2 harm.
And level 2 is the -1d, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want to protect the Togruta as well? That's the third consequence.
Baden Boko can do that. I gotta save some stress. I am in the mouth of the Rancor here.
I think Bade could resist that. You're closer. You could do some.
Yep, I've got 1 stress left before I trauma out.
I could take a shot and like shoot the blaster out of the guy's hand or something. Like, or shoot the hand off of the guy. Either way.
Oh, you can if you want to. I was just going to say go for her. Save your stress to go after Kernok.
Yeah, if you wanna go for it, you can take it. But I've got 5 dice to resist, so I'm good either way.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I will do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 6.
Oh, you remove 1 stress.
Double 6. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a crit. So you remove 1 stress.
Yeah, I think I just blow his hand off.
Yeah. Someone's got to lose a hand. It's Star Wars.
Yeah. Finally.
Fade slams the door open. Boko, you immediately take the shot on this guy behind the counter. He falls back screaming. Etuma, you, when Karnak goes to shoot Freeze Mop, you knock her back with the table. You bring up your vibro knife. You manage to knock Freeze Mop away so that the goon can't kill him. And you go for Karnak. She shoots you in the face and knocks you back. Then she is going to dive for the kitchen exit. She knocks this goon aside, and she's out through the kitchen door. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm going after her. Like, I realize this is the worst. I am going into her trap. This is a bad idea. But if she gets out of here, Zori's as good as, I imagine Zori's as good as Ted. So, yep, going after
she
her.
told you that her employers, i.e. Black Sun,
Said she can't
Zori
die.
gone.
But
yeah. I mean, and you have other people you care about, potentially, so.
I do. Yeah, remembering that last moment, I think I'm just gonna. There's a guy in here who just shot Freeze Mop, right? Or tried to, right?
Yeah. That's the guy she pushes aside when she goes for the kitchen door, because he was standing in the kitchen door. She pushes him aside, so he's kind of knocked off balance.
Sweet. I'm gonna murderize him.
Cool. Yeah, sounds like skirmish, probably.
Yeah, it seems right. There's a 6. Oh, I should have been -1 die. Do you want me to reroll?
Yeah, because you're shot in the face. Let's see, what's your highest otherwise for 5? Yeah, I think we'll just remove the 4th die. I think that's the
Okay.
I don't want to make you reroll the whole thing.
Okay. It's not hard, but I got you.
It seems fair. I did that before I looked at the dice, so could have been bad for you, but this time it wasn't. Yeah, how do you murderize this guy?
He gets knocked, like he's halfway in the door, and Edema just comes at him like a little bull and shoves him into the door frame, and then stab, and then she's just walking away. Like we hear the vibro knife as it just like a turkey on Thanksgiving, this guy's innards, and she's gonna basically turn and try to grab Freeze Mop and just get the hell out of here.
Okay, you're not following Karnak into the kitchen.
It feels like she has more people there. I'm not following Karnak when she goes into the kitchen.
Cool.
I'm setting up season 5 of this show where Karnak
Yeah, you absolutely murderize this guy. You grab Freeze Mop, and as you run towards the front of the cafe or towards the door, there's blaster bolts coming from the kitchen. It's obviously more than one person shooting. Babe,
yeah, I fill the windows with blaster fire as well. Just giving them cover to get out of there.
Cool. Yeah, let's see. We're coming up on time, so I think at this point you're all just trying to get out of there. I think.
Just a real check. Togruta girl is the Togruta. She's okay.
Yeah.
Because the guy lost his hand.
Yeah. Boko shot him before he squeezed off a shot. So she's still alive.
Okay, good. Unharmed. Good. Okay.
Yeah, I think we can resolve this with a group action, just in the interest of time, because we only have 15 minutes left. We need to do XP and that sort of thing. So how do you get out of this situation? Because now you can get out of the cafe, but these sex people out there, they're clearly on her side. Spade has the charge to set off, but some action for how you're getting out of this. And assuming everyone's okay with us boiling this down to.
I love boiling it because it's one of those where it could be death by attrition. So I'm into it.
Yeah, I can definitely lead it too. So we're good. Are we fighting our way out? Is that what's happening?
How you choose to do this will affect what kind of consequences you take. So fighting your way out, that means harm is a lot more likely. Just so you're aware of that.
So I see the options as fighting our way out or trying to cause distractions to get our way out. I don't think there's much between those two. Yeah,
distraction seems like the better version of that.
It's a smarter way. Yeah.
Okay.
So that kind of sounds like sway. But maybe that's just me. If you have an idea for a different action, definitely go for it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if we're gonna lead off with the explosion, maybe wreck is the way to go.
Yeah. You're blowing car
let's
up.
Do it.
Blowing the car up. Cool. So who's leading?
I'll lead since I'm lowest on stress there.
So this is, I imagine, since this is you, Bade sets off the charge. You're shooting because there are these hostiles here. You try to grab some sort of speeder, just like smash a window, jump inside,
smash and grab,
get out of here, drive through whatever is in your way, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can I push this roll?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. I think I'm going to.
You can't aid each other since you're all in the roll, but you can push and you can do devil's bargain.
Cool. I think I'm just going to go ahead and push it, and it's 2 dice for me, right? Yeah.
Wait, does it make sense to push a thing when you're going to take stress because you're leading it?
Oh.
I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Now it's done.
Yeah, it's done. I take 1 more stress. That's fine.
I'll roll next.
Yeah.
Yeah. With my great 1 die.
Yeah, 1 more stress. Give me that.
Oh.
And there's a 5.
There's a 5, yeah. So at least you do it.
Were these desperate actions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get XP as well. But desperate, you do it with a consequence: severe harm, serious complication, or reduced effect. I think you're going to take harm here, because you'll be in a bit of a shootout. There's explosives going off, that sort of thing. So I think actually there's going to be 2 consequences. Wait, let me think about this. Yeah, I think each of you is going to take level 2 harm from being blown up or shot with a blaster or that sort of thing. You can resist that with a resistance roll or by using armor.
I will resist. Oh, each of us have to individually resist, right?
Yeah.
Damn, I will definitely resist.
But you can resist for someone else. You can still do that. You can use your bodyguard thing.
Yeah. Then does that mean I'm choosing to eat it, or I can resist for me and resist for one other person as bodyguard?
You can resist. I don't think bodyguard is limited in how many people you can resist for. No, because protecting someone, that when you protect.
So I just stack up the stress, but I could try to resist Boko. I could resist for Bade. I could resist for myself.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to just mark off my armor.
Yeah, I can just burn armor too.
That'll reduce it to a level 1 harm.
That will remove it completely. In this case.
Yeah.
So Etma, you just need to resist for yourself or mark off your armor.
I think I'll mark off my armor resist near end of session. I'll be all mean like that. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I got 5 stress. That's a good point.
So. There is one more consequence that either any of you can resist, and that's that there's going to be a heavy pursuit. Like you're in the middle of Sec, you started a firefight, there's going to be people following you. But you can resist that as well.
I'll resist that. I know Babe would love to, but she's a little light on stress. Back! Don't look at it. I'm -1 die. Unless you don't lose a die on resist.
No, you have the extra die for resistance.
Oh.
No, I pulled that in. And then I clicked all the buttons. So I have 4 prowess and I threw in the extra die, but it should be at 4, right? For resistance. Or do you not take the -1 die for resistance?
That's just for actions.
Okay. Yeah, so then I'm okay. Then I got 6, so I took no stress.
Yeah, cool.
Sorry. I should have asked the question before I hit the button. I got all excited.
No, it's fine. Yeah, you should maybe have them. Yeah, sorry. No, too late. Yeah, you get away. You get away clean, not pretty, but clean. You smash your way through. Like you hijack a speeder. You hightail it out of there. You get in a firefight on the way, but you do get out of there. So we're coming up on time really close. Let's just do XP first, and then we'll see what else there is. So we'll start with the crew. You did not execute an operation. You did contend with challenges above your current station. You hit that one twice. You've been in various entanglements there. Did you bolster your crew's reputation and develop a new one? Brutal, I think you hit, and loyal. You've been trying really hard to protect people. Sorry if I'm rushing through this, but it's just in the interest of time. Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew? I think so. I think this was pretty much what this was all about. You stick together and that sort of thing. Because that, I think you hit it at least once. If someone wants to argue for hitting it twice, I'd love to hear it.
I think once.
Yeah, once is fine.
Cool. So individual XP. Let's start with Babe.
Yeah,
Steven is the one who's on time. Did you address a challenge with theft or innocence?
Yes. I stole something at some point early on.
Yeah, you picked someone's pocket when you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's one. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
We talked a lot about what would happen with the, what happens to thieves on the street, that kind of thing, what the consequences of that kind of thing would be. That would be background. I think so.
Yeah. Cool. So that's one more. Did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
My trauma is unstable. I don't think my vice came into play this session. My trauma is unstable. And the only thing I can think of is going into, to do the job with the droid and then just blowing everything up.
Yeah, that works. Okay. So that's 3 total. Bria, sorry, you were kind of sidelined a lot this session.
Okay. So I was planning on being evasive when they interrogated me. So
yeah.
If you want to allow that, but I definitely wasn't evasive when it came to getting shot in the face either. So I didn't address. I guess I tried to address the challenge with evasion.
Yeah, I think that counts.
Okay.
That's what you were trying to do, so
Right.
that should count.
It doesn't say you successfully address, right? It just says you
No,
address.
it's just trying is good enough.
Okay, so that's that. I think my heritage came up and stuff like that because of the taking care of my room and the things you found in my room, and it's my background, my heritage, all that kind of stuff. And then my trauma is obsessed, and I should have just run. And I was obsessed with Karnak getting shot.
Yeah.
So
I think you should get 3 then.
Yeah, 3. That's what I do.
Foco, did you address a challenge with tracking or violence?
I'm sorry. Can we interrupt because we're almost near time? Can Steven do stars and wishes? That way, if he needs to bail, he has to bail.
It's fine. Let's go ahead and finish this out, and then I'll start with stars and wishes and go on. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So, Foco, did you address a challenge with tracking or violence?
I got the violence part down for sure. Did we do tracking? I don't know if the whole hunt for Bria counts.
That was,
yeah, that's not tracking per se, I don't think.
Yeah, and it was Bade kind of doing the thing with the droid, like they've been tracking, but I think violence here at the end, definitely.
Yeah.
Belief stripes, heritage, or background?
Background thing for sure. Yeah, I think just cop stuff.
Yeah. Did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
I didn't want to bring the gang with us to do all the stuff because I didn't know who to trust, and they could have probably been useful in the meeting. So I would say 1 for that.
Yeah, that seems fair. So 3 for you, and finally, Eptima. Did you address the challenge with violence or coercion?
As much as I could.
Yeah, I think you hit that one twice. There was definitely violence, and you had that thing with the guy at the counter. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Well, you kept pursuing after Bria. Like, that's definitely a part of you.
Yeah,
at this point.
I think so. That feels like a thing.
Cool. Did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
I feel like she was either reckless or vicious in going after Karnak and meeting with her. She was either one or the other, and she's definitely vicious with that guy at the end. Like, she could just run off, but no, she's going to murderize a guy. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think you hit that one twice, like going into the cafe and meeting with Karnak in person. That I think that should count as reckless, and you were vicious in your violence.
Cool.
So I think that's 5.
Yay!
Nice.
Cool. So stars and wishes, Steven.
I'll start with wishes. This session, it felt like, we kind of sidelined Bria's character, or, the character Bria.
Yeah.
And the story kind of said to do that, but that kind of made sense. And I think we need to, it makes sense whenever we split apart, but whenever we do, we're kind of out of sequence. So that it makes it problematic to handle the pacing of everyone and the spotlight for everyone. Stars, the session was great. I enjoyed. It seemed like everyone, including Bria, got like a spotlight and got like a good time for their character. There was something I was going to say about being able to handle. So we haven't really rolled into a job, but we're just playing in the downtime in between that, and I really like that play through downtime. What are you going to do next? Let's roll. Let's kind of do all of that. We're not focusing on the mechanics of the downtime. I think we need to coming up very soon, but I like that, downtime is actual still play, not just a mechanic that we take over.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and there were several points where we could have said that, yeah, this is actually a job, but it didn't feel like it was big enough to make sense as a job, and I kind of wanted to keep things moving, especially since Kai was kind of sidelined, and I didn't want to drag that out.
And I thought it was good. Yeah.
Cool. So I'll just, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and drop off. And I'm good with the recording being shared. Thanks.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen.
Bye.
So I'll just go around the screen. So